Hey everybody, it's Jason Shadrick with Premier Guitar, and we're joined today by Mike from NUX, who you heard there on the intro, and we're going to be talking about their new Tape Echo pedal. So thanks for joining us, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about, obviously, just from the looks at it, we can kind of guess at what the inspiration was, and just from hearing it as well, but kind of walk us through the idea behind this new Tape Echo pedal.
Absolutely. So the Tape Echo is obviously pays homage to that classic 70s Tape Echo sound, and NUX has faithfully reproduced a lot of that and given it some really awesome updates on top of that. In addition to it being just a great pedal in general, it also has a really nice reverb included in there. So you've got that and a delay at the same time, or an echo. And it also has a USB-C port on the back. So there is an editor that you can download from the NUX website, and you can do all of your editing, if you want to, inside of the computer, or you can do it all on the pedal. So you get kind of the best of both worlds. And if that wasn't enough, there's even a phrase looper built in. So you have a great little phrase looper, and we really did think of everything here because we even include the MIDI cables to go into the side port. So it really is a jack of all trades.
When it comes to the deeper editing on the computer via the editor that you can download, are there certain parameters that you can kind of only access or access easier through the editor than on the pedal?
Not really.
Okay.
Everything's already set. So the way we could get to any of the features inside of the editor that you would find in the editor, that can all be found on the pedal itself by using the select knob. And I can give you a demonstration of how that works.
Yeah, let's go down and take a look at the pedal.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and switch gears here, and I'll go on down to the bottom. There we go. Okay, so here's our beautiful pedal. Would you like me to give you a quick layout of everything?
Yeah,
or
please.
how it's all laid out? Great. Okay, so we have two rows here. The top row is a bass and treble knob for the EQ of the Space Echo. To the right of that is an OLED display that gives you the three tape heads. And then you have the select knob here. Now the select knob, and this is the case with a lot of the NUX products, there's always more than one parameter assigned to a lot of these key foot switches and knobs. In this case, the select knob is used to scroll up and down the different tape heads. You can see them moving as I'm going up and down. So you can go from, say, one tape head to the second, to the third, and then to a bunch of combinations. And then if you just don't want to have the tape heads at all, and you just want to have the reverb, you can go all the way to the end, and now you've just got the reverb going by itself. And the reverb is a nice combination of spring and plate. So what I mean by the secondary features is, if you press and hold the select button, this will launch into the different parameters. Now it's a little hard to see there on the screen, but you've got the ability to toggle between the feedback, MIDI, saturation, the wow, the flutter. There's also a kill drive function here too. You can add in an expression pedal, and you can also change the MIDI channel, of course. So you can do a lot of MIDI parameter adjustments from your favorite DAW or from a synthesizer or something along those lines. So this is actually a really great combination with synthesizers, not just guitars. So you can do a lot of great stuff with that. On the bottom row, you've got the time knob, you've got the repeat knob, kind of what you'd find on any delay out there, but you've got the level and then you've got the reverb. Now down here at the bottom, we have two foot switches. We have the foot switch to turn the pedal off and on, and then we have the foot switch to the right here, which also works as a tap tempo. So you can either set the time from using the time knob over here, or you can simply use the tap tempo to tap in whatever you'd like. And that's just, again, one of those primary functions. When we get into the secondary function, press and hold both of these, and now it goes into a looper. So it's a phrase looper, meaning that it doesn't store the loop to take on the gig with you. It's more about improvisation and being in the heat of the moment. So you can start and stop with the left foot switch and clear, and then as far as the right foot switch, it's meant to just be used to toggle back and forth between the looper. And what you can also do is, if you'd rather see the, again, hard to see here, but on the OLED display by default, you'll see the milliseconds above each one of the tape heads. If you press and hold the right foot switch, it'll then change it to note values, because sometimes people engage better with note values than they do with milliseconds.
Right.
So that's a very handy feature indeed. So you can actually access all of that stuff right from here. You don't actually have to use the editor,
Sure.
but we live in a world now where people work in hybrids. and they like to have the ability to toggle between the virtual world and then what's in the physical. And so that's what this pedal gives you. And plus the fact that it's got a USB-C port means that we're building for the future rather than in the past. So it's a very reliable connection. As far as the back goes, do you want to see the back?
Yep.
All right, let's see the back. We'll do it from upside down here. So everybody stand on your heads. We have the input. We have an expression pedal input as well, so you can attach our NMP2 if you want to, or you could attach any expression pedal you'd like. We have a mono output, and if you want to work in stereo, we have a secondary output as well, which is what we're doing here today. And then, of course, the aforementioned USB connection there on the back there, and the MIDI connections here are right on the side. So they are 1/8" jacks to MIDI port, and as I mentioned, those are already included. So this is the Tape Echo. It's going to be out. It's been announced, and it will be here in the United States probably in about 60 days, I hope.
Cool.
And we hope the best for it because it's just got a really great sound. So I don't really work at those really fast tempos myself. So it's always kind of an experiment. So we can do some sound examples if you want, or make some adjustments.
Why don't you kind of walk us through what the difference for people who might not be familiar with how the tape heads kind of affect the sound, like maybe 1 tape head, 2 tape head, 3 tape head.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if we start on the primary tape head on the first one, and I might just go ahead and switch over to note values just to kind of make it a little easier for people to engage a little bit. So if you look very closely there, you've got your triplet sound. So if I actually start all the way to the right, this is a bit more of a quarter note representation so that I can show you how it progresses over the time. So if we just start with just like a regular just strum of the chords. We can make adjustments with the time. And just like an echo, just like a tape echo would reproduce that sound, you get that kind of ambulance in the distance sort of sound, the Doppler effect in a way. You can adjust the level if you want to. You can adjust the EQ. And that's the EQ of the reflections, not the EQ of what's going in. So
right.
it's what's affecting what's going out. I can always play around with echoes. I never get sick of it. But if we change to, say, a dotted eighth, and if we go to, say, a triplet, turn up the repeat. So that's one way you can use it. Mm-hmm. Now, what you can also do is you can start using combinations. So you can use, say, the first and second tape head. In fact, I'll kill the reverb here a little bit. The second and third tape head. And then the first and the third. It's one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. And then all 3 tape heads, because we got to have all 3 of them.
And you can really get into that kind of self-oscillation territory pretty quickly.
Oh, well, I'm gonna show you that one in a second. So in addition to that, as I mentioned, all the way at the end, after all the combinations, you can simply remove all the tape heads and just simply use it as a reverb, which it has an amazing, nice, cacophonous sound here. So I can riff on A all day long. But when it comes to self-oscillation, we have the feedback. Setting here, so I can go to, say, the quarter note. Oh
yeah.
So smoke them if you got them. But really good sounds from just actually not working all that hard to get there. You know, that's what I love about this pedal. It's so easy to engage with. Let's see. Oh well, let's get into some of the trippier features here to really show you what a tape echo can do. So if I use the select button and go in there and I go to say toggle to saturation, this will give you more of an overdrive on the reflections. You can see it's overdriving, it's distorting. So use with caution. But then we have like the wow. And I'll kill the reverb there so we can just hear the wow. In fact, I'll use the tap tempo and get really slow. Where are you? Oh, well, okay. There we go. Okay, that's like to my liking. So that's kind of trippy right there. And we got the flutter. And these are really accentuated too. So if you add that up with, say, with the reverb, you can get those really nice ambient sounds and textures. Let's see, what else can we do here?
And I would imagine you could, if you had an expression pedal hooked up, you could program, what kind of parameters can you program to the expression pedal?
Absolutely. You can use time, repeat, and level.
Okay.
So it's not, yeah, we didn't do anything with like an expression pedal in this version where you can do that. Now, who says that'll be our final destination, one really truly never knows. But with MIDI, you can do quite a bit. There's a whole list of different parameters that you can access by way of MIDI controllers.
Nice.
So there are certainly different destinations you can achieve. Just have to crack open that manual, and it's pretty straightforward.
Well, Mike, you mentioned it might be out probably in a couple months, hopefully. And what are people looking at as far as the price?
Okay, the price is going to be $179. I wanted to double check that before I said that this morning. But yeah, $179 is what the price will be, and it will be out quite soon. We're thinking it'll probably be in the United States by either late May or early June. So now's a good time to pre-order one now before they even hit the shore.
Dig it. Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have you play us out with a little some of the trippy sounds from the Tape Echo. This has been Jason Shadrick with Premier Guitar.